As the culmination of her life's work and sound healing, she specializes in teaching people how to hum the sounds that are good for their bodies through online courses and private sessions. Kathleen Nagy joins us to talk about her newest work, the Emotional Stabilizer. Welcome, Kathleen.
Hi, Richard. It's great to be with you and with your audience again.
It's always an adventure. We're already talking backstage. I'm going to jump right in, and I'd like you to talk about this new, very cool project you've done called the Emotional Stabilizer. Please tell us. I think this is so cool and radical in the best way.
Well, for years now I've been teaching people how to hum their own chakra scales, and not everyone finds it easy to learn that. Many people didn't really get the proper music education when they were younger, and music is one of the 5 intelligences, one of the 7 intelligences. So when sometimes I find that people have a hard time matching pitches, and so it's hard for them when I say hum this note, and they go, they can't find it. And so it's hard for them to really get the full benefits out of humming along with their chakra scale MP3s. And I also wanted to get some emotional, balancing going on in a couple of different worlds. One especially with the LGBTQ group, and also with soldiers, people who have a good deal of anxiety and PTSD. And I wanted to think of an easier way to allow people access to this feeling of being calm and centered, maybe even without having to spend $100 to do a session with me to learn your personal chakra scale. And so I went into a very deep meditation and came up with this emotional stabilizer idea, knowing that what I was going to do was play on the piano, which is tuned to A equals 432 hertz, just up and down the scale, basically. Just play all the notes that are possible to play in a couple of octaves, going up and then coming back down again. That means everybody's chakra notes are all going to be sounding because we're using all the possible notes, of the musical scale. So you might not, hear it you might not feel your chakra notes, vibrating in the first 3 or 4 notes, but then you might feel your root chakra in the 5th note. Some people might feel it in the 8th note. They're different. Everyone has their own chakra scale, and it just starts on a different note. So if I played all the different notes, all the possible notes of the scale, it said to me, well, that'll be covering everybody's chakra notes. And then I thought the way to balance the emotions of each one of these chakra energy centers in everybody's bodies is to use the interval, the musical interval called the perfect 5th. Now, an interval is simply, in music theory, it means the distance between 2 notes. So if do is 1, and re is 2, and mi is 3, and fa is 4, then sol is 5. And the distance of a perfect 5th would be like from do to sol, or on the C major scale from C to G. That interval, that sound, let me just play it here. The 5th above the root note, the bottom note, is the emotional component of that lower note. It deals with the emotional energy field that lower note will excite. So let's say the lower note is vibrating your heart chakra. Then a 5th above that note is going to really balance the emotions in that chakra. And you can do that for each of the chakras. So using the perfect 5th, And this scale that I do in the Emotional Stabilizer just kind of goes up the scale and down the scale, covers all of the possible notes and all of their emotional support notes. Yes, the perfect fit is the emotional support note for the root note. But along with that, I utilized a couple of different rhythms. Some basic sound to healing, sound therapy rhythm information is a rhythm that has kind of 2 beats. It's like a 1, 2, 1, like a march. Let's say we're a marching band. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That type of a rhythm disperses energy, as opposed to a 3-beat rhythm, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That is a rhythm that gathers energy. So I created the Emotional Stabilizer not only with with all of the notes and their emotional support notes, but I put them in rhythms that first disperses energy so as to kind of clear energy out in that area and then to gather the harmony back in. So it's a very simple little piano piece. It's about 12 minutes long, and that's sort of the nuts and bolts of how I created it and why I chose the notes I did. But the good news is it will calm you right down. That it just puts your emotions sort of back to neutral. People have told me it stops panic attacks, it stops PTSD, it stops anxiety. It certainly helps you go to sleep at night, and just during the day, it will help you rebalance and get back to neutral and start again. And I know that Richard's had some experience with this because I made him listen to this before this interview.